Hey gang, it's Dr. Steve here. Today we are going to speak about intuition. I know that there is a ton of different meditations and ways to tune in to this intuitive state. I'm going to show you just really a simple way that I do it and why I do it this way. And I find it to be extremely effective, so hopefully it's helpful for you. Stay tuned. We'll see you in a bit. So just so that we have a little kind of understanding of the workings of the lower mind, more of a primitive mind, that there's really fear in 4 quadrants, yet these are the main emotional states, sad and happy. And a lot of people try to make their life of avoiding sadness and trying to be happy. And that is kind of like a primitive state of functioning. Essentially, it's wrapped around these 4 ideas that are primitive ideas of the mind: is the loss of support, the gain of a challenge, the loss of a challenge, and the gain of support. So everything, most of the actions that we do is going to be under the guise of avoiding a loss or attempting to gain or trying to avoid this or trying to get that. And it's just a primitive kind of animalistic way of functioning. We just kind of seek out the prey and try to avoid the predator, essentially, is what I'm saying. And so this is the basic framework and the basic setup. So if we get the prey, we're happy. If we lose the challenger or the predator, we're happy. If we gain the challenge, if the predator comes into our reality, man, we are sad. And if we lose our prey, if we lose that support, we are sad as well. And so that's the basic, again, the basic underpinnings of thought. And what we want in terms of the intuition is to transcend that, is we want to go beyond that. And at this border here is what I would like to put as an element of surrender. Because in the rational mind, or even kind of like guised as the rational mind in here, is right and wrong and good and bad and should I and shouldn't I, and that kind of languaging and that kind of conversation and talk. To move beyond there, though, there needs to be an element of surrender. And so, again, many spiritual practices, meditative practices are looking at kind of neutralizing this, quieting this down here, all these pros and cons, right and wrongs, gains and losses, like all that buzzing that goes on in the brain, and it looks just to provide space so that so we can capture some of the information from our intuition, from higher centers of thought, higher centers of mind. And so this surrender is an element. And what it does is it invites in information that seems as though it has some sort of higher order in mind for you. So, some people say, like, they'll say a prayer or they'll ask for guidance and those kind of things. And what we're really doing in that moment is we're creating in our minds a moment of surrender to relieve ourselves of this noise right here and the emotional states that come with this type of thinking and this noise. And by turning this smaller self over to a larger self or a larger image or a larger vehicle, whatever that is, we're surrendering this noise over to something of higher order, at least that we perceive as a higher order. Then once we do that, once we've surrendered that noise, now we invite in new information that goes beyond, that transcends beyond this noisy brain that takes up time and space in our nervous systems, and we can go beyond that. So that's really kind of at the crux of what we're trying to accomplish. And so I'm going to guide you through an exercise here that I do pretty much every morning to allow myself to go into some higher realms of thought and to access my intuition and ultimately to build the trust and relationship with this intuitive center. So hopefully you'll enjoy. We'll see you in just a bit. All right, so here's what I would love to do with you. So we are going to close our eyes. You can sit in a nice relaxed position. And you close your eyes. And you begin to ask the question inside of, what do you want of me? What do you want of me? So as we ask that question, what we're doing, as I mentioned in the video, is we are creating a moment in time and a moment in space where we are foregoing trying to figure something out with our rational mind, and we are deciding in this moment to ask for information, to ask for insight, to ask for guidance. So the question that I use that seems to be extremely effective is, what do you want of me? Or, what do you really want of me? And the key with that is because I'm not trying to solve anything in this moment, and I'm just quietly listening, I'm just waiting patiently for information. And I wait. And sometimes I wait 20 seconds, or sometimes I immediately get a hit of information. 1 to 3 seconds oftentimes is enough to grab a hit of information of some next steps that your intuition can be guiding for you. And so instead of me spending loads of time trying to figure out what to do next, I surrender over. And I ask with some levels of intention that my intuition reveal to me the most effective way, the most time-efficient way. Tell me what to do next. Because I trust that this sense, this order, can see beyond what my petty mind can see. So I'm asking to tap into some of that wisdom and pull that into my awareness, so that it could lay it out in front of me and literally put it into an action step for me. And I usually get anywhere between 3 to 7 to 10 action steps for the day. And when I start jotting them down, they may not make sense at the beginning, but what I do realize at the end is how wonderfully ordered they are, how sometimes I wouldn't even be thinking about this. And yet, the larger part of me can see more of the context of what's needed and what's going on. And in this moment of surrender, I get privy to more of a collective information that can guide my life beyond some of the daily decisions that I make on a day-to-day basis. So I find this in a very relaxed position and just asking, what do you really want of me? What would you really like for me to do today? How can I serve people to the highest degree today? And again, just those questions, it's the question that allows you to surrender your figuring out mind, and the question allows you to surrender and wait for the information. And again, I found that to be incredibly rewarding, and to move on projects and move on my life the way that I hadn't anticipated. But, you know, in reflection, hindsight, just totally made sense that I connect with this person, or I speak with this person, or I do this. And it's incredible what the information that comes up, people that come into your awareness that you can move on or connect with or talk with. So again, it's opening up to the field of possibilities by surrendering your chatty, I got it all together mind. You surrender that and you listen for greater wisdom and information that is aligned for you. That's the key, is that it's not for this person that you admire or that person that you admire. It's for you. It's like the fingerprint for you to practice so that you move your life authentically. You're not meant to be anybody else other than you. I'm not meant to be anyone else other than me. So the fingerprint and the steps and the blueprint for my life is going to be different than yours, but it's going to be different than anybody else's on the planet. I want to honor that, accept that, and move into more of the authentic steps forward. And this is a very, very simple way to do that. And it doesn't take me any more than 3 to 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes tops to do, just depending on how long it takes me to kind of quiet that chatty brain. But again, a really, really simple practice. And hopefully that could maybe guide you, help you out a little bit, and just provide your brain some space so that you can download some cool information for yourself, your life, and to move in the direction that you want to move. So hope this is helpful, and we'll talk to you soon. Hey guys, Dr. Steve here. If you hate this channel, leave a nasty comment below and don't subscribe. But if you do like this content, I'd love for you to be able to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and leave a wonderful, inspiring comment below as to what you're learning. So we'll talk to you soon.